Now, in many games, there's always certain things that you could do that are extremely respectable to use/play with. For example, the DSR in Black Ops 2, Little Mac in Smash Bros. Ultimate, and the Trapper from Dead by Daylight are all considered respectable options. Now, there's a lot of heroes in For Honor, and more to come this month, but honestly, very few kind of hold the mantle I would call respectable. What makes a respectable hero in my taste? Well, a hero that has to earn their kills and wins. Whether it be in Dominion or Duel, this hero has to earn every win by simply being better instead of their character being better. Well, with all the recent hero changes and reworks, we've kind of stepped away from what I would call respectable hero balance. But there has been one that has been off this list, on this list, back off of it, and then back on it yet again. He's always kept the title of Noob Stomper no matter what state he was in. Yes, I am talking about Centurion. To say Centurion's balance is what's keeping him loved would just be a total lie. See, to have an enjoyable hero, I feel like you need three things. First is obviously balance. Is the hero fun to fight against, fun to fight with? Character personality, how a character presents himself and how he holds himself, and lastly, a good voice actor. Not just one who will voice the character, but will enjoy it and show love and passion to who they are voicing. Let's start with balance. Going back to day one, original Centurion was released in May 16, 2017. There were many things people called him back then, but the biggest one was definitely overpowered. But anyone who's played Cent now might be confused since they didn't really play old Centurion. But day one, he was busted, and stayed like that for some time. The things that made him so infuriating to go up against was his jab, wall spot people, putting you in scenarios where you just lost. This gave him the bad rep of the just win hero, akin to heroes like Hitakiri we have nowadays. But once he lost the ability to wall splat and new heroes just kept coming out, Centurion was really left to be forgotten. People evolved and got better at the game, and Centurion stayed there where he was for literal years. It was only until June 11th of 2020 Centurion was finally reworked after a year and a half of his testing grounds being delayed. He was back to his original glory. But the thing was, Centurion mains after his buff did not enjoy Centurion, because they really truly enjoyed mastering what was the bad hero. Now that Ubisoft made their beloved character into something the community scene is yet again overpowered. This is the state Centurion stayed in, and still basically is in now, with some minor tweaks to his speed of his bashes that came with the bash updates, but fundamentally this character stayed the same. Repeating the process of busted on launch to nerfed to lost in time, now Centurion sits in a very respectable place in the terms of balance. Dying to Ascent never really feels cheesy or cheap, and getting kills Ascent always feels like you earned them. But the thing that elevates all of this is our next topic. See, Centurion's character is amazing, and it's only backed up by Derek Sejuin's flawless performance as Centurion. As I was saying before, Centurion used to be the shitty hero that was always seen as underpowered and garbage, but his personality never matched his overall viability. See, Centurion was always cocky, egotistical, and a full of himself type of guy. Kinda like some people we know. Laughing to himself, to the people he was killing, the way he would just kill people. See, normally executions over time get better and better and outclass the old ones. For example, Warren's From the Hilt execution pales in comparison to what he gets now. But this was never the case for Cent. Roman Uppercut, Glorious Execution, Forte Erecte. For crying out loud, even his default execution Stay Down was still good. And it still sees use today, but goddamn, all of these check off so many boxes. Amazing sound design, amazing voice acting, sick camera angles. I would say confidently, Centurion has the best pool of executions out of any hero ever released. Even the new ones he's getting are surprisingly good compared to the other hero fests. Lastly, we really have to talk about the man, Derek Sejuin, the man behind Centurion. This guy poured his heart and soul into him, and he cared for his hero very deeply. Obviously, he didn't stay long with Ubisoft due to expenses, but always loved his hero. There were recorded fan meets where he would ask fans, hey, is Centurion still the best hero in the game? And fans would lie to him and say yes, because they could tell he took so much pride into voice acting. Even giving fans custom lines, if asked. I'm pretty sure if anyone who's main Cent has heard the Lamau get bodied meme, and yes, that was Derek Sejuin. This was basically the formula every hero needed if it wanted to be successful. And if you disagree with me, I'd like to point out a hero that gets a lot of hate for her voice acting. Yes, Warmonger. Warmonger out of the box was just a more boring version of Warren as a whole, but extremely overpowered feats. And the icing on the cake was that she spoke English. This makes her voice acting feel stale and very annoying compared to people like the Centurion. Everyone got tired of hearing Enough Sheep after the first week she was released, but nobody on the planet had ever gotten tired of hearing Centurion's beautiful voice. In my opinion, Ubisoft needs to take a long look at Centurion and really figure out what made him tick with players. Because if Ubisoft is making another character like VG or Ocelotl, I'm just telling you, they're really running the community's patience. Nope. As always, I hope you guys have a fantastic day.